So my name is Lisa Raleigh, and I would say I'm a wellness entrepreneur, wellness expert, if I can say that. I've definitely done my 10,000 hours in the industry, been in the industry since I was very young. So to go way back, I was a professional gymnast, ballerina, very much around, my whole existence was around physical activity, watching what I ate, being super self-disciplined. And I actually stayed with quite a few different families throughout my high school career because I was something called a private boarder. So that's when you live with a family because you can't necessarily live in the boarding establishment. And it was just because of my irregular training hours. So when I lived with those families, I really loved to kind of understand human behavior. I loved kind of figuring out the dynamics within a home. And I really had a bit of a heightened EQ at a very young age because when you live with other people, you kind of have to develop it quicker than you would need to with just your parents around you. So from a very young age, I was fascinated by people. And that kind of led me to what I studied, which is all around exercise science, behavioral kinesiology, nutrition, life coaching, DNA. And I really love the human being and what kind of makes a human being tick and peeling that onion when it comes to their health and their lifestyle and how I can help them and the intervention that I need to kind of advocate for that specific individual and making it as bespoke as possible because each person is so different. So pretty much after school, I studied all of that. I went overseas for a while. I came back. I started a mobile personal training business. Then I started a couple of gyms over a period of time. I got a really cool break on a big TV show in South Africa called The Biggest Loser. And I was the trainer for the one team. And that was amazing. It gave me a huge boost from a media perspective, from a following perspective. And I wanted to use that in a very strategic way so that I could help as many people as I possibly could in my time here and use my passion and use my knowledge to do good. So I first started with the gyms and then I moved on to an online business, and that online business grew, and I did many, many other TV shows and sort of media things since then. But really about 6 years ago is when a lot changed for me. I studied DNA, so I'm able to, decipher reports that we get back from the labs and help my clients to understand why they're unique, why they're different, why they can't eat this, why they must take more rest days, what they're predisposed to when it comes to certain diseases so that they can play to their strengths and they can, really customize their lifestyle intervention plan. So that was a huge game changer. Also starting a new fitness modality for myself, which changed my life and has since changed thousands of people's lives, which is the exercise modality called rebounding, which is exercising on a mini trampoline. And it sounds so like funny because you think, isn't that what kids do, or occupational therapists, they do that. But it is actually quite like fascinating what rebounding does to the human body and like the benefits of it. And so we've gone into a lot of research and we have a huge product set now around rebounders, accessories, programs for every single human being on the planet that can pretty much do one of our specific programs for their specific requirements. And the testimonials that we've seen over the last 6 years has been absolutely incredible, from children with ADHD and sort of low muscle tone through to your adult that is suffering from major arthritis, postpartum, obesity, people that have varicose veins. I mean, you name it, we've seen it, we've helped as much as we could, and the outcomes have been like quite remarkable. So rebounding together with genetic testing has been like a huge focus area for us, taking exercise into a beautiful, a low impact surface. So exercise that I say heals and not harms. So as we age, we can't do such high impact exercise anymore. We really need to take it down a notch, not from an intensity point of view, but from an impact point of view. So rebounding is 70% less impact. So you can do all those cool things that you would normally do on land in your 20s. You can now do in your 40s, 50s and beyond because you're on a very forgiving surface. So it has been life-changing for a lot of our clients. So since developing Bounti and launching that brand, I've also launched an athleisure range. So that's your fitness apparel that goes into sort of lifestyle apparel. around beautiful fabrics, beautiful cuts, a lot of local manufacturers and also designers and artists. And Bodykind is the name of the brand. South Africa's first adjustable sports bra, to beautiful leggings that make ladies feel confident when they are exercising and whilst they're on their wellness journey. So Bodykind, Bounti, and Lisa Raleigh, that's kind of like the three main hero brands. And in the last couple of months, we've just opened up a beautiful big studio, which is the biggest rebounding studio in Africa. And it's in Bryanston in Johannesburg. And I've also opened up our first retail store, which has been a big learning curve, but it's been really wonderful to have a space that I'm proud of, that's beautiful, that's welcoming, and clients can actually come and experience what we have to offer firsthand, like feel, touch, experience it. And that has been really, really awesome. So yeah, we are forever doing cool new things and trying to forge the way forward and doing things that nobody else is. And always trying to educate and empower people to live their best lives, trying to make it easy, affordable, fun, and sustainable. So yeah, that's pretty much like what we do every single day. So, I mean, coming from the background that I came from, which is obviously one that was really intense, I did develop an eating disorder in my teenage years. That was from too much everything, too much exercise, too much discipline, too much calorie restriction, having to be the best, having these international coaches weighing us every week. It was so unbalanced. It was perfectionist everything, more is better. You've got to be the best or don't do it at all. It was just this mentality of like excess and too much. And I had to get out of that. I had to go for help and I had to stop, my exercise for a little period of time. And I had to go through that whole healing process. And through that whole healing process, I learned so much. And I have since then never gone back there. But I've had to really strive for balance. And I know balance means different things to different people. But for me, there is that middle road. It doesn't have to be the all or nothing, which most people are very used to. They're either on this crazy diet or they are binging and couldn't care less. They're either not exercising and they are being totally sedentary, or they're in the gym 6-7 days a week, sometimes twice a day. We've got this like extreme nature, and trying to teach people that it doesn't have to be like that. You can enjoy good quality food. You can, have your rest days. You can find the middle road. And what does that look like? And the only way you can do that without crazy dieting and over exercising and heading towards those extremes is if you understand your body. And so with genetic testing, DNA, it's quite amazing. So if somebody can't afford genetic testing, we have other options, like through the process of elimination. We have lots of different programs that people can go on. It takes longer, but we do get there eventually. We do understand the body eventually. But with DNA, what makes it amazing is that if I know exactly what I should and should not eat, how I should supplement, what time I should be eating, what fat I should eat with what carb, is my body intolerant to anything? It means that I'm no longer playing the guessing game. I don't have to go on this diet or that diet or this diet anymore because I know exactly what to eat for my DNA. So I will get results, which is amazing. It's so empowering to know that if I do this, and this, I am going to feel and look a certain way. Even the way you train is in your DNA. How you should train is in your DNA. So for me, it takes out all the waste of money, the sort of the demotivation that a lot of people face when they are trying this and trying that and they're never getting results. It does lead to really poor habits and bad behavior patterns when somebody's desperate and nothing's working. So then that's when they go to the extremes because they are desperate. But if you don't have to be desperate anymore, you no longer have to live a life of extremes. And also when it comes to so many people try and train with pain in mind, they must be stiff, it must be sore. They mustn't be able to walk the next day. That's how hard they must exercise. But if they only knew what that was doing to their bodies and that there is an alternative where you can get all the results you've ever dreamed of without any pain, So it's not no pain, no gain. In my world, it's not like that. I teach people how they can push their bodies to the extreme without the pain. And that's through the power of rebounding, because it's so low in impact. So tough on the body because of the G-force, but so low in impact. So you're getting all the results without hurting yourself. So yes, it's my ethos and my philosophy has come through my own pain and my own journey, and then also seeing thousands of clients over a decade or more. Before I founded DNA and before I founded Rebounding, I saw what my clients were going through, and I was looking for the ultimate solution that was customized and safe and kind for every person out there. Well, it's not bouncing back from any man or relationship or lady or whatever. Rebounding is jumping on a mini trampoline, and it's called rebounding. It's not called trampolining. Trampolining is a beautiful thing. It's what you do when you do gymnastics. It's what you use when you're outside with your big pits. It's what you do when you go to those cool bounce parks. Trampolining, there's height, it's big, it's generally outside. It's a very different concept. Rebounding is smaller, compact, portable, and anyone can do it with a little support bar. You can hold on a bit and you can do basic movements. And it's all inclusive, from kiddies through to somebody who's 100 years old can do it. You know, they would have to modify what they did, but they can do it. And it's about pushing down. It's not about the elevation, it's about the depression. So it's about how you push into the mat. The harder you push downwards, the higher your heart rate's going to go, because there's more tax on the muscles. The higher the heart rate's going to go and the more calories you burn. So you're always in control of the intensity of your workout. So yeah, rebounding is exercising on a mini trampoline, but it doesn't just mean doing, forward, backward, jumping jacks, jogging on the spot. It's, if I had to change the perception of, instead of calling it rebounding, calling it instability training. So that means everything that you do, you're doing on an unstable surface. Squatting, lunging, dipping, shoulder work, cardio, plyometrics, skipping, you name it. If you do it on a rebounder, it's 70 to 80% less impact than doing it on land. So it's just instability training. And because it's unstable the whole time, you're recruiting so many more muscle fibers than you would if you just stood on a flat surface. The fact that you are doing this and your body's trying to get the balance and get that equilibrium all the time, and it won't, is what recruits every muscle fiber, tendon, and ligament in the body. So the calorie burn is much greater. The efficiency is so much better, and you don't have to do it for as long. So that's what's quite nice. If you are a bit time poor, then rebounding is fantastic, because 20 minutes of rebounding is equivalent to 60 minutes of running. And not everybody has a full hour anymore to exercise, but they have 20 minutes. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. So it is all-encompassing, all-inclusive. That is what I do love about it, is the fact that I got Bella onto a little rebounder at home when she was 9 months old. She couldn't even walk. She could only just sit with her body upright like that. And I would hold her hands and I just bounce her in a seated position. Then she slowly, when she could stand up, I started getting her to just do compressions in the rebounder. And then I got a little support bar and she started like that. So it's really good for children to cross the midline, to work their core, to build lean muscle mass, fitness, balance, proprioception. It does everything. And then building up, we've got programs from your tiny tots through to your sort of 6 to 8 year olds, through to your 10-year-olds, preteens, teens, and then postpartum, special needs, fits, unfits, all of that. Okay. The benefits are the same for children, for men, for women. So we are all still human beings at the end of the day. So the benefits are absolutely the same for all of us. So men just don't like to admit at this stage, maybe if we did this interview in 2 years' time, things would be different. They don't like to admit that they're rebounding. So we found that a lot of the ladies say that their men rebound in the closet, like they're in the spare room, doors locked, they can hear they're bouncing, but they won't actually come out and say, I did a workout. It's like they're too shy about it still. And because there's been a little bit of a taboo thing about it. It's a female thing, it's choreographed, it's dancey, it requires music, it's complicated. And it's not the case. We've actually generated a lot of content and beautiful programs that are unisex over the last 2 years, especially our HIT program, where we do everything that you would do in like a HIT class, wherever you landed up going, you would do on your rebounder. It's just that it's going to be less painful. So Steph, rebounds 3 times a week in between his booting around the neighborhood. I rebound every day. I take classes. When I don't take classes, I'm on my rebounder. Both of my stepkids do it. Bellaboo does it. So all of us have a different class that we follow. Steph will do a HIT class. I'll do flow. Bethany and Amber will do regular classes. Amber likes to dance. And Bella will do the Bounty Kids classes. So it's one piece of affordable exercise equipment that every family member can utilize in their own unique way. And for me, that makes it a very affordable piece of gym equipment because every person in the household can enjoy it. Sure. Okay, so everything's on the lisaraleigh.com e-store website. There's blogs and all sorts of things to read, but there's also the website which kind of breaks it down between rebounders. So the first thing you would need to do if you wanted to start would invest in a rebounder. And we have lots of different models. Some we bring in because it's going to be a lot more cost effective. But through COVID, our supply chain was really interrupted. And so we started manufacturing for the first time ever in our country rebounders that we export. So that's called our deluxe rebounder. They take 160 kilos. They come in different colors. And so our deluxe rebounders are made here. Okay. Then we've got all the accessories. I'd say 30% to 40% we bring in because we don't make the silicone here. It's very hard to get those products. But everything that we can make in SA, we do. And we get local artists to design the fabrics. And we have CMTs here in SA that manufacture everything. So I'd say a good 50 to 60% of everything that we sell is actually made in our country. So that's very exciting. Our athleisure, around about the same. About 60% is made here. So we often run competitions to send in designs. We vote, we pick our favorite design, and we actually print that on imported fabric, but we print it here and we sew them up here and we manufacture and package them in South Africa. So all of that is on our website, so lisaraleigh.com, and you will see rebounders, accessories, programs, and workouts, and you'll see body kind athleisure. It's all there.